Hi, Peyton. Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's do this, guys. I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm ready to do this. And I'm ready to get into Dave and Lauren and to, oh, you watched all of them. After like episode 11, I was getting like really heated and angry, so I had to take a break. I was like, I was boiling. I was like, let me watch something chill. And then I watched Severance, and then I was like almost crying. And I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. But should we start with Dave and Lauren, or should we start like a little bit chiller with like maybe, I don't know, Devin and Virginia are chiller. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Oh, yeah, we're watching Severance. I have lots of thoughts about that, and we can do a separate live on that because I'm living to talk about that. Hi, Jeff. Is that snow? I don't know what that means. Is that SNO? Oh, is that show on Netflix? No, it's on Apple TV. Let's talk about Devin. Are you guys? Let's talk about Devin, then we'll get into Lauren and Dave, because let's be real, that will be like an hour conversation. So let's let people get in here, and we'll softball it a little bit. Okay, Devin and Virginia. At first, some of the positives. At first, I really loved the conversation that they were having with his mom, with Virginia's mom, and I was already kind of feeling iffy about Devin, especially the way that his family from last drop was treating Virginia, especially that one comment being like, oh, you're so old. Like, do you want kids? And I was like, she's 33. Oh, thank you. I did not expect that. And that made a sound. So that's why I was like, ooh, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you. So I was like a little bit iffy about his family, especially because all the prenup stuff. I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. And they didn't pet the pig, which I was like, what is that about? Like, that pig wanted to have some love. And supposedly, what did you say about pigs? That they're like very intelligent? Mm-hmm. So my fiance, he was saying that pigs are really intelligent and also affectionate. So, what's the word for it? Justice for the pig.
You didn't deserve that.
Did you hear about Alex Brown? I did hear about Alex Brown. We will get into Alex Brown. Let's hold on that. We will get into Alex Brown allegations for sure. Then this drop with Devin. They met Virginia's mom, which I felt like was a good conversation. I was like, that's fine. Nothing too crazy here. Virginia's mom is super cute. I was like, oh my God, I love her. And I also get kind of where Virginia gets her kind of like charm. But the drama. When they're talking about politics and he says, I feel like what I don't like in this conversation, there's a lot of things. First of all, as a Black man, I don't understand how you're voting in a way, even though he didn't specifically say this, but I feel like he said enough. You know what I mean? I feel like he said enough. Voting in a way that really does not benefit you, and also for a party or a group of party that like really is not for you, like at all. Yeah, that is a great conversation shot. Why are all the men not ready to have a serious conversation? These are great questions, especially because they got on this show to get engaged and to be married. And you would think that probably when you get married, you're going to have a lot of serious conversations. Like, you're going to have kids, you're going to combine finances. This person's going to be living with you for quote unquote, hopefully ever. So things are going to happen. It doesn't make any sense. They don't respond with educational answers, like they don't care or take it serious. I agree. Yeah, I agree, Lo. I hate this. Like, I don't really care about politics. What does that mean? Like, honestly, to me, like, what does that mean to you? All this, like, I don't really vote. I don't really care. We all know what I don't really care about politics means. And I feel like it's always the same people who say that. It's never people who, like, are really ethical about, like, their beliefs. That's my opinion. Sorry if anyone disagrees with that here. Yeah, honestly, but I feel like Virginia was getting there with the whole like, my first question would be, did you vote for Trump immediately? Agreed. And I feel like Virginia was kind of getting there. Wait, let me plug in my phone. Obviously I was not prepared for this live because my phone's at 20% and it's literally, ooh. So let me just plug this in. Okay, there we go. So we're safe, guys, now. My first would be, yes, did you vote for Trump? That would be my first question too. Like I was like, what are your views on, especially because like this was only a year ago and these type of issues were very relevant. Very relevant. You know what I mean? So do you believe in reproductive rights? That would also be a question of mine. Are you somebody that's like going to be outside an abortion clinic? You know, like throwing blood or things like that. Like I need to know that. Where were you January 6th? I think those are very, very relevant questions. Also, we'll get back to Ben later, but I ask, what does equality mean to you? Because everyone could be like, oh, I believe in equality. What does that mean to you, though? Like, let's get into specifics. Let's do this thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's get down to brass tacks. So that's what I would want to know. And I feel like they don't ask enough of those serious questions and really get deep into like, oh, no, I believe in that. What do you believe in, though? Like, I want to hear it like word for word. Like, let's get into the details. I'm here to stay. Like, let's have a drink. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here all night. I'm your girlfriend. I'm your fiance. Like, we have time, you know? But I feel like they really brush over it. And definitely in this conversation, I can see Virginia trying to navigate this and trying to be like, so when we go to the polls, are we voting for the same people? And Devin's just like not answering. And that for me would have been like, so did you vote for Trump? Are you conservative? And what does conservative mean to you? You know, like, and I love when Virginia was like, well, I mean, as a Black person, you know, most Black people vote Democratic. He's like, my dad's Black. And I was like, yeah, there's always a few out there. You know, we do have a Candace Owen. So there's some strays. And that's not a good comparison for us. You know what I mean? That's not a good comparison for us. But they talk about that in their signs more than they are hard. Yeah, they do talk about, I mean, everybody wants to know the astrological signs. And I don't want to do any like hate on the astrological people out there. But I think we really need to get to things that are like within the earth first, and then we can start talking about the stars and, you know, the sun and the moons. You know what I mean? Why are they not asking? Thank you. When Virginia brought this up, I was like, wait a second, you guys didn't talk about this at all? I love that. I need to see Devin's entire chart. I get that. I'm not, but I do love my astrological girlies. And like, we can get into that. I just also want to, like, let's get into like some of these other things first. And then let's go up here, you know, like we can do a trajectory. We'll start here and go up. I hope next season they bring more diversity and plus size queens. I do too, but the other thing about having plus size queens, I'm a plus size queen, is that I always get just like a little bit stressed because I do feel like they don't have people that are open to different sizes. And then it's just like heartbreaking. But I agree, I want that diversity and I want to see somebody like meet somebody and it really be Love is Blind and then really like all sizes, you know, like really be able to see all sizes are beautiful. That's my first, don't waste my time. Yeah, I love astrology, but I agree problem is the country first. Wait, who has this? I missed that. Jess. What do we have that? Oh. Yeah. How are you going to ask about love language on your last day? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to need to know. But in money, politics, kids, sexual, religion, family, origin, tradition, all before. Yes, all before engagement. On season 2 in Brazil, did a gorgeous Black woman. Yeah, that's the thing. That one, I remember that. And that was heartbreaking. Rebecca, are you protesting with me or against me? Exactly. Like, is the op in my home? Do you know what I mean? It's a person against me in my home. Is a person voting against my reproductive rights laying next to me? Like, that's what I need to know. Like, are you against me? Are you going to be one of the reasons why, like, if I have an ectopic pregnancy, I'm going to die? Like, these are things we need to get into. Yeah, about. I'm guessing, but I didn't know that's something you can get addicted. Jess, ibuprofen is not something that you can get addicted to. It's not. I am a nurse, so I do know that information for sure. But ibuprofen can like wreck your stomach, and I don't know if he. We'll do a quick thing about the ibuprofen thing. I don't know if he was trying to say he was, taking something else, or if, because I feel like Devin doesn't come off super smart, honestly, not to be that way, but it's like he had this whole thing where he just felt like I need to push through this pain, and I was taking too many ibuprofen, and so he's just like using the wrong words for it, and he felt like he shouldn't have taken so much pain medicine, and maybe he's like against pain medicine, period. Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, I think that kind of could also be it, and he doesn't understand that actually makes people think, no, you might be addicted to Oxy. You know what I mean? Like, you might be into that fentanyl, like, type of thing. Like, that's what makes people think that. And he should have been more careful with his words. Oh, he's definitely a Trumper. When he said to Virginia, do you vote along your faith? And this part, actually, the way that Virginia answered this, I haven't heard somebody answer this in this way that I was like, she's smart. Obviously, we already know that she's smart. She has a PhD. But when she talks about how she's like, well, yeah, I do vote with, thinking about my faith. She's like, but I know a lot of other people do too that don't believe it, that, who are conservative and Christian. She's like, when I vote as a Christian and with my faith, I vote for reproductive rights. I vote for rights for all LGBTQ plus, you know what I mean? I vote, you know what I mean? So, and she's like, but other people are conservative who vote against that also are voting with their faith. And I was like, I like how she really worded that and broke that down, because it's like, yeah, I think that is still voting with your faith, Knows he said his dad is black. So he does. And we met his mom. He does have a white mom and a black dad. I like Virginia, but I don't think she's been really genuine. I feel like they don't show them enough for me to really say if I feel like she's been genuine or not. I think she's kind of just like one of those people who talks in kind of baby talk, and I'm not saying I've talked in baby talk behind closed doors, whatever. Like, I feel like sometimes when you're in love, you kind of your voice changes. Hate to say it, but it does. And I feel like hers was really prominent. And I feel like she likes to come up, like she likes to be in her soft girl. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I do feel like she kind of, in some ways, doesn't dumb herself down, but like hides some of the stuff. Because I feel like she could have come even harder on Devin and been like, wait a second. But I also feel like a lot of these girlies are in love and they're not pushing as hard as they should. When these guys are answering with absolute BS, what has happened? I'm trying to go back and read. Why did he have a hard time asking the heart? I think because he didn't want... I think it's very interesting. A lot of these guys on here who are very conservative... Oh, sorry. I don't know if I read that whole question. Sorry. Why did he have a hard time asking the hard questions? I think he had a hard time asking hard questions because a lot of these guys on... what's it called? I feel like a lot of these more conservative guys like Ben and like Devin and possibly even I don't even want to believe if it's Daniel or not, because we need somebody that's okay. And Dave and stuff like that, I feel like they don't want to talk about it because, and I've read somewhere that a lot of guys that are conservative like want non-conservative women. Like, they don't mind their women having different beliefs. So they just won't say all the things because they're like, but I still like you. So I feel like because it's a privilege. I feel like it's a privilege to be able to be like, well, that's okay. You don't have to vote in the same way I vote because it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you the way that it would affect me. And so I think they're a little bit more okay with being like brushing over those hard conversations. But I do think Devin also very much himself was like ridiculously brushing over things. He got really quiet. But I can tell Virginia was kind of like, what? But I do wish she pushed him a bit more. Like, you're not giving me anything here. I'm going to need a little bit more from this conversation because it's feeling like you're a Trumper. Does that sound familiar to you? Do you mean like, what do you believe in? Like, what do you believe in? I mean, and I feel like he answered it. He answered it in his own way, but it was clear to me what he was trying to say. Yeah, it's my business who my husband votes for. I agree. Like, I'm like, I need to know who you voted for. And I can't marry anybody who's a Trumper. I can't. The drama around her getting a prenup. And then, okay, let's go to that next part. Let's get to the prenup. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm missing some of your guys's. I'm a chatter, so I would have divorced my husband. Yeah. What do you think of Daniel? What do I think of Daniel? I will get to, let's pause on that and I will get back to that. I promise. I feel like she's going to say yes, but I feel like she should. The fact that I still don't know which man you're talking about when you say his name. Oh, wait. Are you talking about Devin? Devin's the one right here. Living lean. Okay. I'm going to go through the questions just a little bit to see if I'm missing anything. Also, can we talk about how rude Devin's... Oh, yes, we can. How did they not talk about politics and pods? That's one of the first things you should address. Agreed. They definitely made the whole prenup thing more than it is. Devin's family seemed off to me. I agree. Do you think the other shoe is going to drop with Daniel? I feel like something is off. We'll get to Daniel. I will say a quick answer to that, Beth. I don't think the other shoe is going to drop with Daniel. I don't. I think that they're going to make it. They haven't really showed anything of what his beliefs are, but they also haven't showed anything of what Taylor's beliefs are, you know? So it could be very possible that they're very much in alignment and there could be some things that are off that we believe, you know what I mean, are off. But I think that they're very much in love. I feel like the prenup is what she was hitting at when she asked if there's anything he wanted to talk about. Oh, Monet, I agree with you there. And the prenup, when she hands it to him and he's like, I got to really look at it. I got to have my mom, my dad, a lawyer, I don't know, my dog. Like, pretty much he's saying I need to have and I you know what? Hey, you should have your lawyer read it. You should read it too yourself. But the way he was acting was very much as if she was asking him to sign off like all of his worldly possessions. And let's be real, we all know he doesn't have money. Like, you don't have any money. So like, what are you worried about with this prenup? You don't have anything. You're in debt. You're in severe debt. So actually, if you know that this is only protecting Virginia, so this is giving gold digger. Oh, you know, I hate to say it, but it's giving gold digger if you like just don't want to sign this because you don't have anything. Like, and she already said that she would help pay off your debt, you know? Oh, yeah. I also hate how Chloe, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hate how they bait us with cliffhangers and drama and we get nothing. I agree. I feel like Devin is dead broke coaching basketball. Like, honey, she ain't going to take any. Yeah, you have nothing for her to take. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have anything. You don't have money in your bank account. You do not have savings. You're paying off your debt. So honestly, this is just to protect her. And I think that you either want her money or your ego is getting hurt and you're offended because you know that she has more money than you. Either way, you need to get over it and sign it. But I do think Virginia has made it very clear. She's like, I'm not getting married to this dude without this being signed. But I also just feel like he doesn't understand what a prenup means. And I do think it's a very ignorant stance to be like, well, why are you planning for divorce? No one's planning for divorce. Okay. Like, it's like anything. It's like, okay, just like you have life insurance. I'm not planning to have an accident and die. Do you know what I mean? I'm not planning to go anywhere anytime soon, but I probably should, take that life insurance. If insurance, I'm not planning to get sick, just medical insurance. I'm not planning to get sick, but just in case I do, this will be nice to have. You know what I mean? Like if we did that with everything that we do, like then we wouldn't have it, like home insurance. I'm not planning for my house to burn down, but I probably should have home insurance. You know, like it's just like, if we use that logic on things that people are just like, yeah, you should have that. That would be the same thing with a prenup. Yes, I'm not planning on getting divorced, but at the same time, the person that you divorce is not the same person that you're marrying. And emotions are heightened, so let's not even make decisions while that's happening, and let's just make decisions while we're in love. Let's make this decision on how we want to split things while we're in love and we both are going to do right by each other, versus making decisions when we're angry and if that ends up happening. Oh, 61 message. I'm sorry, guys. I hope she says hell no. He signed that. That doesn't mean he understands it. He just wants to marry her. Yeah. What episode are you on? He was open to it and signed it. He just wanted to understand the why. No, yeah, I was saying that this is just, and that's fine. Sorry guys if I read that out loud. I haven't watched episode 12. I don't mind the spoiler there, but sorry if any of you haven't watched episode 12. But I was only covering episode 10 and 11. And episode 11, he was being really shady about the prenup. I think he is the one that's going to say no. The rest of them don't seem to be getting a prenup, and that is why. I agree, but I'm not sure. I feel like prenup should just be standard, honestly, especially for the show. You do not know this person. Are you guys ready? I'm ready to move on from Dave and Virginia. I think that's like enough for them. Sorry, not Dave. Devin and Virginia. Should we talk about Dave and Lauren? Oh, Nicole. Okay, let's do it. I have one person. Oh, well, we'll be talking about Molly because let's talk about Dave and Lauren, starting with episode 10. Let me just breathe because my heart rate's going to go up with this conversation. I hate this man. Okay, let's do this. Whew. Let's get in there. Gotta stretch for this. Okay, so Dave, episode 10. This man pissed me off so much. First, when he comes in after having slept away and Lauren is literally freaking out because she hasn't heard from him. And then when she said it's literally he doesn't get back home until 2 p.m. and his phone has died. What is up with these men and their phone dying? Have you not heard of a charger? Everybody has extra chargers. There's literally no reason for your phone to be dying at this point. He was and I felt for her because I was literally wanted her to stand up. I'm stand up, Lauren. But you could tell she was this is what happens with abusive relationships. As soon as they give you anything, you're freaking out. They're not, I've been in that situation. They're not home or whatever. And as soon as they get home, you kind of flop, because you're just, oh, they're here, that your anxiety is kind of rested a little bit. And I was I wanted her to yell at him more, but I also understood why she kind of was I'm just glad that you're here. I'm just happy, I'm glad that we're in this together. We're still choosing each other, blah, 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 blah. So I feel her, but I was also just oh my God, girly. This man is giving you nothing. This man is disrespecting you to the nth degree. And then him trying to be oh yeah, so I went to this bar and I went to this other bar and I saw Molly. But I said, I don't want to see Molly. Yeah, right. I bet. And now we know already that Molly basically was one who was no, I don't need to talk to Dave. Cause I'm pretty sure he wanted to talk to Molly. Child dragged him as he should. He frustrated her out of it. Yeah, Lauren was way too nice to him, but also I feel this was a very gaslighting relationship, and I feel she was still within that where she just didn't have her power anymore. And he left out how there was a woman and exactly. When Molly brought that up, how there's a woman all over him, I was very interesting. Very interesting that part wasn't in his explanation of the night. Does his sister even exist? His sister does exist. It's funny because I found her and I told somebody, I think Love is Blind Tease, because they had been making these posts, and then what's her name? And then Lauren kept debunking and be like, that's not his sister. And then I was like, I'm sure I can find this person in like 2 seconds. I'm not even kidding. I found her like very easily. And then I wrote them being like, her name's Nikki. And then they posted about it, and then other people posted. I just like, I don't know. I didn't expose her, but I found her. Molly Dodds, but maybe his sister is his excuse for not wanting to. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna talk about that. If I think that his sister is the reason, it's possible. Because she did not get on the show, we don't know what she actually thinks. But once they get to the bowling alley and the conversation that they have and him being like, well, that conversation with her dad was really hard. What? And I don't just introduce my sister to just anybody. How is your fiance just anybody? Like, excuse me? Like, I'm confused. Like, do I not speak English anymore? Because that makes no sense to me, right? Like, how is your fiance just anybody? I also don't want to waste my sister's time. What are you saying, Dave? What are you saying? Like, at this point, if I was Lauren, I'd be like, so you've broken up with me already, right? Like, we're obviously not together. Like, you're not my man anymore if you think I'm just anybody and you don't want to waste your sister's time by introducing me to her. The all-flipping dacity. I would have, sorry, I'm going to read some of these. Find to waste Lauren's time, though. Oh. He literally said he reaffirmed the sister. That he wasn't serious about finding. Yes, thank you for reminding me about that. He slipped up a bunch this time. I don't know if and this is a thing with people who lie a lot, they're bound to slip up. In this conversation, he slipped up a lot. When he said, what did he say? He was like, yeah, but the thing is my sister's upset because I told her that I would not get engaged. I told her that I really wasn't going to go through with anything. And then I did. And she's upset. And Lauren kept being like, I think this was the first time he's actually said any of this stuff. And she's like, wait a second, what? You promised her that you wouldn't do this? And then now she's like, why are you lying to me? And Lauren's like, yeah, okay, now I'm getting a little bit more why your sister's upset, because she's like, your sister probably what is going on? You're breaking up with Lauren, you're not going to get married, but then now you are? Like, what is happening? Why are you still on this show? Like, it makes a little bit more sense why the sister's like, what is happening here? I thought you weren't doing any of this stuff and now you are. And also maybe if we possibly think the sister could possibly just be a scapegoat, maybe the sister is like, stop playing with this woman. And that's why she's pissed off. And that's why she's not going to meet Lauren. Cause she's like, thank you so much. And that's why she's refusing to meet her. Cause she's like, I'm not going to be involved in this mess of you, duping this woman, so I think, thank you guys for helping me meet my life goal. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. So he literally said he reaffirmed this. Yes. Wait, I need Lauren to stand up. Molly was a choice. He just didn't want to lose Lauren at the time. I agree. That's why his sister isn't on the show, because she didn't say any of those things he made. I agree with that. I bet he calls his sister for help 3 times a day with Jenna Dog. Yeah, honestly, I bet he calls his sister and be like, what type of toothpaste should I buy? What type of toothpaste do I? I'm like, dude, what? Happy to be here. Oh, I'm so happy you're here too, Runner Mom Lauren. Kim, Hink, they all have agents and it's to get them on TV to be noticed. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, agreed. He was trashed from the get. Thank you. He was trashed from the get. Honestly, I honestly just think he didn't like her and used this whole thing to get out of the relationship. I agree. I don't think he liked her either. I think from the beginning, I like what Molly said, and we'll get to that, but Molly saying that he tries to push people away. He obviously, he wasn't interested. He's a coward. And so he just tried to do everything in his power to get to get Lauren to do the breakup. And that's it. He's just a coward. So he's doing pretty much, and I think a lot of times he's just staring at her while she's crying and looking blank stare, because he's like, what do I need to do, woman, to get you to break up with me? Like, I have said everything. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us would agree with him on that. Like, Lauren, you should have left. You should have left a long time ago. But when she was like, hey, I don't know how much longer I can take this, I was like, I perked up. I was like, thank you. Thank you, girl. Like, because you're listening. You're listening now. And it took him to be pretty specific on what he was saying at the, and slipping up at the bowling alley. But I was like, I mean, hey, if however we get there, girly, however we get there, I'm here for it. And then when he's like, can we talk somewhere more private? Like at the movie, and then we went to the movie theater. That scene pissed me off so much. And he brings up her dad and be like, him saying like that I wasn't really ready for marriage. And like, does your dad know the full story? What do you mean, what full story, Dave? Like, I'm so tired of hearing about how she slept with somebody when she didn't even know you existed. She didn't even know that you were a person that existed in this world. I'm so tired of hearing about how she's had sex. Like, get the flip over it. You're grow up, man. And she's like, yeah, my parents know the full story. My dad knows that I have a sexual history. What do you think he's gonna do? Shame me like you're shaming me? And I bet you the way that he was giving smoke to Lauren about what her dad was saying, I bet you he said none of that to her dad. Because he is an absolute coward. He had none of that same smoke for Lauren's dad. And it is such a coward move to go from speaking to her dad and then get her alone and then yell at her about what her dad had to say. I'm like, be a flipping man and say it to the person who said it to you. Like, and the dad, there was no lies. So over it. She should have walked out of the room the instant he greeted her. He got chewed out by her dad and then got mad about it. Exactly. And then because the dad clocked him. The dad knew. I hope she learns no is a full sentence. She said way too much. Yeah. I get it was a deal breaker, but he let her on. That's the problem. Yeah. I disagree with that being a deal breaker. I think that that's immature. I think that his whole thing about the fact that she had slept with someone 48 hours or a week before meeting him, I think that's crazy. I personally think that's crazy. It should not matter. It should not matter. To me, I think that's crazy. But if you're one of those crazy people where it does matter to you, then just end it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand why you're putting this girl through weeks of you being like, so I heard this, I heard that. Your issue is that you don't like that somebody else's peen has been in her so recently. And that's on you. That's not on her. That's on you. And that's your thing. And I think you just need to be able to own that. You know what I mean? Like that's your, yeah. His issue, 2 cats, no kids. His issue is his ego. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it shouldn't matter. They are grown. Like, it honestly should not matter. And I think it's really sad. And I do think later on in episode 11, he talks about that. Like, he couldn't get past his ego and all that stuff. And I'm like, and he was drunk in that scene. So I do feel like that was a bit of his real feelings coming out. He's like, I just couldn't get past this. And he says him saying we barely hooked up. But then as soon as he meets Molly, he needs to be like, oh, well, I did hook up with Lauren. I was like, oh my God, you're such a child. You're such a child. Yeah, I agree. Lee, that Lauren is not respecting herself by fighting for Dave. I agree with Carla. He's not ready for commitment. And that's why her dad said that. Her dad was like, this makes no sense. Like, you obviously are not ready for a relationship. You obviously are not. And then him be like, well, your dad didn't want to come on the show. So, and then he's like saying stuff about my family. And she clocked him. She's like, well, that's because he met you though. He still met you. Your sister and your friends won't meet me. Like, so that there's a difference there. Like, he still met you outside of, like, didn't get filmed. I don't respect anything about Dave, but I really did not respect him going off on her about what her father said. I was like, I think that's such a low blow. She's not responsible for what her father says, Dave should be humbled from this. He should, but I don't think he's going to. I think on it, this word gets thrown around a lot, but whatever, I'm going to use it anyways. I feel like he's a narcissist or something, a narcissist adjacent. I don't really, and I think he made it all up that the friends and sister were ever that adamant about any of it. Yes, I agree with you, because he slips up again. He slips up again here, and he ends up saying that. Because she was like, well, they were refusing to meet me, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like if they were really supportive of you, and he's like, they're very supportive. And if I wanted them here, they would be here. And I was like, enough said. Stop talking, Dave, because we've reached it. Thank you, Sherlock. We have found it. We have found the real reasons here. We have found what's going on. The issue is that you didn't want them here. You didn't want him there. And I love when Lauren was like, exactly. And then he tried to backtrack. He's like, well, no, like, they were still, no. You've already let it out. The cat's out of the bag. The lies have already, you fucked up. You messed up. We already heard exactly what you meant. And what you meant is what you said, is that if you wanted them here, they would be here, and you didn't want them here. And that's why they haven't met me. Because your sister and your friends are not literally refusing to meet Lauren. Like, let's be real. Over the fact that she slept with somebody a week before the pods? Like, come on now. Yeah, he did want her to end it. And Audacity had to go hug Lauren at the get-together. Oh, Carla? Agreed. Yeah, Dave was so shady, and he had an about face after talking to Laura. Yeah, I want his sister at the reunion. I do too. He should be like his hairline and step back. Oh my God. I love that. A week before pods is too soon, though. I mean, we can agree to disagree on that. Do you think Lauren will take him back? No, I do not think so. Because after that conversation, and then him still trying to get Lauren to break up with him, but then he ended up having to do it. He's like, I want to stay, but I don't think that's what's best. And he's like still hoping that she'll be like, oh, thank you so much, Safik Noir, for the roses. I really appreciate it. Rachel, he was hinting at trying more at the bar, and she said, we are past that. Yes, exactly. So I think, and the thing is, the reason I think that he did that at the bar is I think he thought he was going to be able to get with Molly. And then when Molly was very obviously like, oh, hells no. Then he was like, oh, maybe I can get back with Lauren. And at this point, Lauren's like, I've literally already moved out. She's talked to people, actually giving them the full story, probably. Had a lot of people be like, yeah, oh, hell no. Her dad was probably like, I might have to put my foot down, girly. Please don't go back to that man. You know what I mean? Like, she's already told her mom. It's hard to go back when she told your mom and dad what happened. You know what I mean? Like, and most of my times, like, if I've told, like, my mom or my sisters what's really happening, it's because I want accountability and I want to be able to not go back. You know? And I think at this point, she's really told them everything. And they were like, no. No. And she's like, I can't go back to this. But also she was probably just like, this is crazy. Like, literally 24 hours ago, you said something different. And now you're saying, I actually don't care. I don't care about the sleeping thing. And she's like, who are you? The whiplash is whiplashing. I'm literally about to have a stroke because the gaslighting is like strobe lights. I had more stuff for her after that episode. She said she had Lauren's back. I agree. Molly was such a queen. I was so happy when she had that conversation with Dave. And when she ended up saying to him, being like, she was like, I mean, it doesn't matter. And he said, what if the roles are reversed? And she's like, I would not care. She's like, I would not care. And he's like, I care. And she's like, that's fair. But, I mean, and that's the same thing. That's fair. That's your belief. That's your thing. I mean, I can't change that that's how you feel about it. But then her being like, hey, this is your fiance. This is your girlfriend. I feel like if you're really ready, then you would have defended her. And he's like, it's not that easy. I did defend her. And he's like, well, then you would also been like, hey, this is my fiance. You are going to meet her and your sister. And she's like, you could FaceTime. You could. And he's like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It is. I mean, I could literally FaceTime my sister right now and she would flipping answer. It is that easy. It is that easy. Just call. Just call. Ambush them. They love you. They're not going to not forgive you. I mean, you can do it off and you can do it with no cameras. I had to go look at his Instagram to see, and yeah, big ick. Are you related to Marissa from No, but I have heard that a lot, that I look like her. Did you see the one with his cousin? I don't know what that's about. Yeah. I was surprised, Lori, that Lauren didn't mention to him about what Molly said. But at the same time, I think the reason why she didn't mention it is because she was done. She was like, yeah. And I also think Molly saying that to her, she already had an inkling too that like, this man is not serious about me. And if anything, I feel like that also might have been the real straw for her, where she was like, oh yeah, I literally can't go back to this. I can't do that. He was looking for any excuse. She said, I will always have Lauren's back. And I know. And I was like, yes! You know, like when you're watching something and I was like, yes, Molly! Like that was me. That was me. I was so excited. I know when Molly talked about seeing Dave's Instagram selfies after getting out. And she was like, yeah, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. Molly literally disliked the way he spoke about the other lady. Yeah. Yeah, she was honestly a queen for this. She was honestly a queen. Oh, can we talk about Ben yet? Yes. They're just a picture of him and his male cousin super close and his arms on. Okay. No, I agree, Michaela. Lauren should have had the inkling episode 1. Agreed. But I'm glad that we got here, right? When Dave hugged Ben, that was the most involved he looked this entire season. Agreed, Lexi. I agree, Bliss. He is using his sister as an out. On last thoughts on this, I don't think that his sister or his friends were that like involved. And Lauren I saw what's it called? Her interview. Sorry, I gotta stretch my neck. Her interview on the Viall Files. And she did say, because they asked her, they're like, do you really feel like his family and his friends were really that like upset? And she's like, no, I think it was what Dave was saying to them. And I agree with her. I was like, I think Dave was saying some really crazy things to her, to his family and to his friends. So I don't think, and I think he was being like, well, my friend said this. I think he's just saying that. Like, I've met people like that. But like, everybody agrees. Like, everybody thinks you're this. It's like, you think this. You just don't want to say that yourself, Yeah, I'm sure his friends were gossipers. I'm sure they brought it up. But Weeks, I doubt they cared that much. Let's be real. I doubt they cared that much that they were calling him daily and be like, I refuse to meet this woman. Let's be real. That's weird. That would be weird behavior. And I doubt that he has multiple people in his life, multiple men in his life that would think that. Lauren's sister Dave dynamic is, yes, agreed, Calico. I agree. That is triangulation, what he did with Lauren's sister and friends. Guys don't care that much about, no, they don't. I hope they bring a sister because I'm tired. I need to hear from her. Like, I need her to just say something. Do you know what I mean? Like, defend yourself, girly. Because at this point, people are thinking you're crazy. I mean, and his whole thing, like, my sister doesn't control me, but she told me I could go on the show. But she finally said it was okay for me to go. So that's feeling like she controls you. Like, you don't have a say. But then you also told her the way Molly, when he was saying this to her about how he's like, but then I promised her I wouldn't get engaged. And she was like, what? Yeah. Like the drinks are getting in and the truth is coming out. Boo, I'm going to need you to walk out because you're looking like an ass and everything's coming out. Guys, oh, that would be fun. I've thought about like making like a Discord or something. Oh, sorry, I didn't even say what I was reading. This is my ADD, guys. I'm acting literally like we're all like together. We are together, but you know what I mean. Asha, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Guys, I have no one to talk about this with. Should we make a Love is Blind chat? I feel like that would be really fun. Would you guys be down for like a Discord or something? I was excited for season 7 because I'm from DC, but I was just, oh my God. Don't even get me on that. Don't even get me on that. He was so damn mean and nasty, my heart would have dropped multiple. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, Grace. The fact that he didn't give the letter. Honestly, I got a little teary-eyed from that when Lauren was saying that about how she wrote his sister a letter and then he didn't give it to her. I got teary-eyed because I know that like she felt so like such a lack of control, and you could tell that this girl was doing everything. And I've been with a narcissistic guy before where like they're gaslighting you and you're like just trying to do everything because you're like, you're still kind of rational and you're like, okay, there has to be a way for me to fix this. And you can tell she's just grasping. She's like, let me just do it. Oh, okay, I'll write a letter. And then him to not give it, it's just like, it's just so heartbreaking. You could tell she was trying so hard. And I just like, I felt so emotional about the letter part. That part really broke my heart. Yeah, agreed. He never planned on letting her meet his family. Oh, I agree. No, he never planned. Stephanie, he never planned on letting her meet. Brianna. Yeah, I feel so bad for all the Minnesotans because I feel like there's so many people that have come in my comments and been like, this is not the real Minnesota. I'm like, I hope not. How did you promise us you're not going to get engaged when that's the whole point? Exactly, Brie. Like how? Like how are you going to go on a show that the whole point is to meet someone and get engaged and get married, but then you're going to promise that you're not going to do that? And then you're saying that your sister was afraid. Oh, cool, cute doggy. Thank you. But then you're going to say that your sister's afraid that you're going to meet somebody that's in it for the wrong reasons. Does not mean that you're in it for the wrong reasons if you're promising not to do the thing that the whole point of the show is. Like, make that make sense. You can't, because it doesn't make sense. He told the girls that he only cared about looks and specifically told Lauren he didn't like her. Yeah. Or he didn't like her age. He didn't like her hair. Oh, Michaela. I totally forgot about that, him telling Molly that he cheated in the past. I do wonder if Lauren knew that. We don't talk about that. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Kelsey, that he's in love with his sissy. Star Lady, why did Lauren like him in the first? You know what? These are the questions that we need answered, because I did not see any redeeming or likable qualities about this man. Like, not one thing popped out to me about like being like, ooh, that's it. Like, not one, nothing. Like, there was nothing about that man. I said to myself, I was sick of hearing about his damn sister watching the episode, right? My sister. You know what I wonder? Does Dave have a sister? Like, does he have amnesia? Lauren gets it. You got a fucking sister. I just want to know, are the women in Minnesota okay? You know what, Andrea? I don't think that they are. But you know what? The thing is, every season of Love is Blind, we go out there to a different city and we find out that it's rough. You mean that it's rough out there? That the women aren't doing okay. And so it's really making me think that, it's not the men in every city are not okay. So I'm just like, when people say in any city it's rough out there dating wise, I'm like, I believe you. Enough said. We've seen enough Love is Blind. I've had enough of my own experiences. It is rough out there. So no, I don't think they're okay. When the reality of reality TV hits. Yes. Yeah. Kelsey, we need her story. They need to catch up in terms of equality, overall energy, everything. I agree with you, Natalie. Kevin, how do you rank this season? Ooh. I think this is okay. I think this might be the worst season because I don't think I've ever had a season where I felt so bored. And so I'm really going to go off of that. I would say I would say maybe like a 2. Maybe like a 2. I'll say a 2. I would say a 2. I can't remember the other ones, like where I'm like, I don't know if there's one that was more of like a 1. I don't know. But this one was so boring that it was so hard to stay focused. And just these last 2 episodes didn't even get any little bit interesting. And we're at the end. We're at the end. Like I had to watch literally 9 episodes before it got interesting. Like that's crazy. That's literally like 9 hours of TV that I was struggling to watch. I wish I could, but you know, I wanted to fast forward. I almost like didn't even make any videos because I was like, I'm so bored. I want to fast forward. I don't want to watch this. But then I was like, no, I don't want to do that to my followers. So then I watched it and I was literally like, I was like, please, somebody do something interesting here. I watched a second. Yeah. I watched a second episode that was just released and thought I watched the third one. Morgan, you just started the first episode? Oh, girly. Yeah, that's good. That's rough. Yeah, honestly, I didn't start episode 12 yet because we're starting to get towards the weddings. And that part, okay, after we get close to the weddings or we get to the weddings, I do not care. I really don't care. I fast forward through those parts. I just want to know if they said yes, I don't really care. I'm happy for you. But I don't care. I'm just saying, like, I just want to see who says no, and then I'll go back and watch, like, if there was any information that made me think that maybe they would say no, if there was anything that, like, you know what I mean? That's it. But if they've said yes, we've moved on. Go live your beautiful life, you know? But I'm uninterested now. Thank you so much. You know? So that's how I do things. Yeah, I like when everyone sees each other at the reunion. Yeah, the reunion is really where the butter is. You know, the reunion is really where, like, I feel like this reunion might be good because I feel like there was so much stuff. One thing, and if there's any Minnesota people in here, oh, thank you so much, Morgan. That's so sweet. Your skin is beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, that's true. Last year's reunion was horrible. I do wish we had a different, but they're never going to get rid of Nick and Vanessa ever. And last year's reunion was really horrible. They did not put Tyler to the fire like they should have. And that really, really pissed me off. And so I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with Dave and not put him to the fire, or to Alex and the allegations that he has. I don't know. So I think do I think he really likes Virginia? I think he does. I think he does really like Virginia. I just don't think that they're compatible. Reunions are a letdown because the hosts are terrible. Agreed. But sometimes after the reunions, like some of the interviews that happen, you know what? Actually, okay, the reunions aren't the most tea. It's like after the reunions and then when everyone can kind of speak and people can really say what their piece on interviews, that's where the real tea is. That's when I get excited. Yes, please get someone else to host these reunions. I'm always disappointed in their questions. Yeah, their questions are absolute crap and they never hold anyone accountable. And I'm just like, what the hell? You know what's so funny is like sometimes when you guys like do like an LOL and I don't know what was laughing at, like you're like at this person, I'm like, I'm desperately trying to, I was like, I want to laugh. Plot twist, Brittany and Dave's sis get married. Stop. I agree, Moa. I don't think it's the host. I think it's production. I agree. I think there probably is something where they don't like the controversy, which I think is kind of, I mean, not that you need to like it, but I do think there's a way that you can kind of lean into it because, I mean, like let's be real, like Storytime with Ricky, all those people that like really dig in, this stuff is out there. You know what I mean? The stuff is out there, and you are starting to really lose your audience by not holding people accountable that are also doing like a lot of harm. Like the Alex allegations are really sickening, and for them not to even address it, I think would really make it so that they wouldn't. I do think they're like, it's getting really hard for them to keep their audience. That's what I think. One thing for sure, there will be Gold Cups. Yeah, that's true. There will be Gold Cups. That we will get that. Alex, Megan, Mason. Okay, I hope Alex isn't. I hope so either. Wait, what are the Alex? There are allegations that he, that pretty much like when he was in his 20s, he used to invite teens, like 15, 16-year-olds to his house, and have parties and have alcohol and take advantage of those girls. What do I think? Oh, 1 second. Sorry, sometimes I guess when you're not like clicking on the thing, it does make you do the puzzle. Let's talk about them. I need to hear others' opinions. Wait, who? Let's see. Who are you responding to? Who is Katie? Oh, what do I think about Mason and Meg? Meg was quirky. Her whole stuff about like, I don't know, anybody that's like really into Joe Rogan, I'm like, oh. And then there was a lot of stuff that I had someone come into my comments because there was a lot of her theories and, what is the word? Bubby, what's the word when people what is it called? What are they called? No, I can't think of it. I can't think of the word, but conspiracies. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Conspiracies. Love you. Oh my God. Thank you guys. I love the chat. You guys get me. You guys had that word for me so quick. Thank you so much. Conspiracy theorists. Her conspiracies, they said, were like a lot of like alt-right conspiracies. So I had never really heard of the ones that she brought up to Mason. But I did have someone in my comments bring up that it was like kind of very much alt-right type of conspiracies. And I was like, oh, okay. So my personal opinion is that like, I'm like, if that's right. And then also the whole Joe Rogan stuff, which I mean, that's now. I'm like, yuck. And then that makes me kind of be like yuck about Mason too, because obviously he's into that as well. But on a just like, oh wait, Aisha, because she went to write to Mason after pause after turn. Yeah, Dana Adele. What did Dana say? I can't find it. Probably not. It's already been filmed. Blah 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 blah. 2 episodes left. Blah 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 blah. Oh my God. Yeah. So I think that like her whole turning him down and then leaving and then writing him right away was like, I mean, I had a, you know what, the funny thing is I had a feeling that would happen because I don't really feel like, I feel like I don't think Madison, I really do not have hate for Madison. I know a lot of people do, but I don't think Madison made her, but I obviously feel like Meg did not feel enough conviction in herself to just be like, I'm still going to go with Mason, which I feel like she should have, but I feel like she was easily swayed by what Madison said instead of just kind of standing her ground and being like, I still like Mason. Because all the things that she said about being like, am I your second pick? Yeah, you were her second pick, but you still chose to be second pick later. So, you know what I mean? It didn't change anything. You just got with him later. You know what I mean? I said May give, oh, thank you so much, Dana. I said May give me pick me vibes. I agree. I think she does. I'm not into her. I'm not into her. But if they're happy together, cool. Mason and his vocal fry is rough. And I don't really like to talk mean about people's voices because like it's not something you can change. But it was a little bit rough. I would not have stayed had I been second. Yeah, I wouldn't have either. But I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't want to have been second. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Vocal fry UK. Thank you. Jackie, I really hope Sarah says no. Oh my God. Me too. Okay, let's talk about Ben. Let's talk about Ben and Sarah. Are you guys ready for that? I feel like I need to rewatch the whole thing. The policies were so, Don't do that to yourself, Samantha. Don't rewatch the whole thing. Like, why would you? Are you into torture? I mean, if you are, do you, boo boo? Asha, yes. Okay, good. I just wanted responses that we are ready to move on to Ben and Sarah. Okay, Ben and Sarah. Ben, I feel like, is... Hi, Shomio. Sarah had no face at the end of the episode. Oh, my God. I do hope Sarah says no. So, Ben just gives me fake. I'm telling you all, Ben is a secret conservative. I don't feel like it's a secret. I don't feel like it's a secret. I feel like he is very obviously a conservative. I feel like he's very... Yeah, Ben says whatever he thinks will pacify her. I agree. I think that... I hope Sarah says no, and the church is very conservative. Oh... Do you know if that church is very conservative, or are you saying the church in general is very conservative, Brianna? Big gives, I'll say yes to anything, just marry me. Yeah, because I think he just wants to be famous. And also, I watched like one or two. Please don't go to his TikToks, because I do not want him to get any more. But I did watch like one of his TikToks came up, and he's like doing reviews of the episodes. And telling like and it's giving very much like he just wants to be famous, like, and that's it. And the thing is, if you want to be famous, that's fine. Like, I really don't have, I think all of these people want to be famous, but I just think that he also has no morals. Like, I think your desire for fame should not overshadow your morals and your ethics. And I think it definitely does for him. Ben wants to be, yeah, Fallon, I think Ben wants to be famous. Carly, that church is deaf conservative, mega church vibes. I'm from, oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that he goes around talking about how, okay, the conversation that I was like, what was I even saying? Sorry guys, I like lost my train of thought. But Ben just gives me fake vibes. I think that he very much is just trying to lock down Sarah. And the thing is with Sarah, when they had the conversation with her sister, and her sister's, I think it's her wife, it gave very much that I realized that I think Sarah just recently got into maybe her whole like social justice, equality, stepping away from the church, because you can tell that she's still very easily swayed. Like, she doesn't understand what Ben is saying is actually him trying to, like, in some ways, quote unquote, indoctrinate her. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So did Dave and Lauren break up? Can anyone tell me? Yes, they broke up. I have to ask, how do people find out Devin is MAGA? He said he votes mainly conservative, but MAGA. Oh, I don't know. Ben and his family seem way more religious than I initially thought. That's a huge turnoff for Sarah. Yeah. I've never gave Sarah a straightforward answer to issues she brought up, because it would... Exactly. And the conversation that they had, and he was like, he's really accepting, and then he said things like, when he came into the pod, he said, like, equality should not impede your relationship with God. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, in all honesty, like, what are you talking about? And I'm not like a religious person, but like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't those two come together? Like, equality and faith and religion and God. Like, why wouldn't those all be together? I would think that would just, your feelings about that would just strengthen. But him saying that was just a very obvious way of him saying that, like, he does not believe in those equality issues, And I feel like when she had that conversation with her sister and him, and her sister was clocking him. And I feel like when she was like, yeah, me and Ben both agreed that we are fiscally conservative, but we are, what's it called? Ethically or something, liberal. And what I want to say to Sarah, I was like, you obviously don't know what that means, because you're not a millionaire. So it makes no sense why you would be fiscally, thank you guys, socially liberal. It makes no sense why you would be fiscally conservative, because you're not a millionaire. Like, she's a nurse. Yeah, you can make good money. I'm a nurse too. We can make okay money, but like, we're not millionaires, okay? It does not benefit us. We are not in that tax bracket of when the taxes are cut. It does not benefit us at all. And so like that whole thing, but at the same time, I feel like when she said that, I feel like that's something Ben said, and he was like, see, but this is why I believe this. And I think that's him trying to bring her slowly over to his side. And the same thing when he's like, oh, just come to my church. They're so open. They're so this. They're so accepting. It's probably like a don't ask, don't tell thing. And so I feel like she doesn't see that he's just trying. He's like saying, yes, thank you, Mom. I think he's just manipulating her. And I think he says what she wants to hear and then slowly says his opinions, but in ways that are digestible to her. So then he can trick her in a way to come to his side. That's honestly how it feels. Sarah's was turned off by the church. She's going to say, I agree. Brianna, they are both coming off as uneducated. And I think the thing is with Sarah, like these last couple episodes made me realize, I was like, she's very early on in her transition to I'm just going to say liberal, to the more liberal side, to the more like understanding about like the injustices in the world and like how that's affected by your vote. And I think she's just very early on in that journey. And so because if she marries Ben, I think all of that is going to just go to the wayside because she is going to get re-indoctrinated into believing what she used to believe. Yeah, Sarah's like bending her morals and values for him for some reason. Are any churches in that part of the country gay friendly? We have churches with pride flags in Massachusetts. I don't know. Any Minnesota girlies here know that answer to that. Yeah, like the bag a liberal wife and then convert. Yes, that's how it's feeling. It's very much feeling like he's just trying. He's like, no, I believe in equality. And that's why I said earlier in the live, I was like, I would need to ask, what does equality mean to you? Like, what does that mean? What do you believe in exactly? Because the things that you have said are not giving that. You know what I mean? It seems like you're backtracking, and you're backtracking is like because you're trying to lock me down, and then you're going to say a whole bunch, and then you're going to try to get me to agree with you on things later and say them in digestible ways because you know that I am not strong enough in my beliefs. And that's what Sarah's giving. She is not strong enough in her beliefs, and she definitely still needs to spend more time with her sister and to really get it down what it means to be an ally, what it means to be. And I like how her sister's wife was like, and I said this in one of my videos where I'm like, I couldn't be with someone who was like, I don't want you to be accepting. I want you it to be like this. What do you mean? There's nothing for me to accept. This is normal. This is just like, this is, and I agree with them being like, I hate that word. Like they're accepting, they tolerate. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I hate that. That's just like another word for like not. I feel like the sister and wife will be so hurt if she marries him. I agree. Understanding right, crazy in their city. Ben is who Dave wishes to come off as. Yeah. But I think Dave is more... I don't think Ben is narcissistic. I think he's a phony. I think he's a phony, and I think he's clout hungry, and he's conservative. But I think Dave is narcissistic. And a pathological liar. I think Ben is hoping for bait and switch for sure. Yeah. Ben's face when they talked about this topic again outdoors on the last episode. I haven't even watched that, Tiffany, but it doesn't matter. I don't, like, you can say what you're saying. His body language was giving bad news. I haven't watched it yet. I had to take a break because I was getting a little too heated. I was getting really angry, Dave is a classic narcissist. But I am going to watch it tonight. So I don't really know what happens on episode 12 yet. He was like, I'm tired of this stuff. I do not like all the politics this season. I feel like Sarah was on the fence about, gluten-free tips and tricks said that. Hope Davidson, I feel Sarah was on the fence. Oh, wait, I lost you. I feel Sarah was on the fence about what she wanted to do until they prayed during the ceremony. Dana, celebrity T, oh my God, his face, and then he blames it on him being tired. Yeah. When Dave said he wants what he can't have. Yes. When he said that, I was like, you're gross. You're gross. Oh, Jackie, episode 12 is honestly way too boring. And you know what? I also felt like that would happen too. Like, we're really getting into the weddings, and it's just so hard for me. It's so hard for me to get into them. Oh, my. Oh, no, it's okay, Tiffany. It's okay, Tiffany. The clothes girl. I'm disappointed in the women this season. They are this. Oh, same. Especially that scene where all of them are like talking about changing their names, and not saying, I know a lot of people change their names. I'm not against that, but it just felt kind of weird. And I don't know why, but all of them be like, oh my God, like, and they put Miss Hastings, and it just felt weird. And then Virginia being like, she's going to change her name. You have a PhD. Like, you probably have research under your name. There's really no reason why you should change your name. Like, especially after you get a PhD and you already have research under your name, you should not be changing your last name. That's how they find you. I just was like, I was disappointed in Virginia with that. I never not asked this when talking to, wait, Kitty. What did Kitty say? I fast forward through, yeah. Do we think Shaggy is going to say no? Wait, which one's Shaggy? Yeah, if you're going to marry a stranger, you need to discuss politics. Agreed. He's from Edina, Minnesota. That's a classic cake eater response, Minnesota girl, as you know. Oh, really? A cake eater response. I haven't heard that saying before. Gluten-free talkers says politics should be discussed in private. I mean, I think if you're coming on a show like this, nothing's really discussed in private, just like how their sex lives weren't discussed in private. So, and it seems like, and Brianna might be able to give us a little bit more info on this, because I think you said you're from Minnesota, but it seems like that area does have a lot of religion involved. And even though in America it's supposed to be, church and state aren't supposed to be mixed, it seems like it's very mixed over there. So I think that's also why this was brought up so much this season. The women are very passive. Yeah, the women are very passive this season. And then I think that's also what angered me so much, because it was like, I think other seasons women were a little bit more like stood up for themselves, and it just felt very much like the women this season just really just like laid there and took it, took whatever they were getting. It's my time to continue watching. Oh, marketing queen, yes. Michaela, it was weird. What happened? You're exactly what I needed after watching this crazy. Oh, thank you, Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Daniel looks like Jess McCartney. I think he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. I think, you know what? I don't know if Devin is MAGA, and I do think, cake eaters are from, Edina. Edina. Did I say that right? Thank you, Sinjo. Cake eaters are from Edina. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I want her to just say no. I feel like he gave her answers without saying it. Can we give Molly her flowers for being a girl? Yeah. Yes, honestly. Oh, wait, Chelsea, why do we not think Molly's not a girl's girl? Why do we think Molly's not a girl's girl? Lord, watching Love is Blind during the live and you're more entertaining. That's so sad, but thank you. Hi, Jen. I feel like Molly is a girl's girl. Molly said to Dave what everyone was thinking. Agreed. And I'm glad that she had the kahunas to say it. Molly did have Lauren's back. Oh, you're only on episode 2 right now. Okay, you have a long way to go. Natasha, when she said, while they were, so I fell out. I don't know. When she said, well, they're back, so I fell out. I don't know. PJ, love Molly. Madison is married. Oh. Oh, well, they're black, so I fell out. Yes. Honestly, though, because I mean, it's very rare. Not saying we have Candace Owens. Sadly, I don't like to bring her up, but there are a few of us, I guess, that don't understand that voting MAGA or any of that is not for your best interest. But, yep, when do the news episodes come out? Next Friday. I don't think I really hate all the Madison hate, honestly. I'm not, she has her issues, but I just don't think that she's like the villain that everyone's making her out to be. I just don't. I think that, yeah, I think there was a bit of trauma dumping. I think that, but I also feel like some of the stuff that people hate was just like, also Mason was being messy. I think that she had a right to be upset about the way that he handled the breakup, like, did she handle it well by going to Meg? Maybe not. But I mean, Tabitha, honestly, no. Honestly, no. Oh, Jennifer, we did talk a little about Mason and Meg and how I think a lot of us came into consensus that like we don't really like Meg. She's giving pick me vibes. She's giving pick me vibes a lot, as well as she's giving very like MAGA conspiracy theorist, alt-right conspiracy theorist vibes. So it makes me wonder about Mason a little bit too, that he's with her. But I am at the same time, it seems like if they're happy, they're happy. Do you know what I mean? So good for them. Blarney, I think Dave is gay and afraid to admit it. I hate to speculate. I really do. And that's not really something I usually comment on. But I see it. I see it. She secretly hates her. What do we think about Monica's sister? I do think that there is obviously a lot of competition between them. And I think that's so sad when that happens with sisters, but it does. And I don't know why that happened or whatever. So I think that's what's kind of going on with them. I do think that there's some ways where she is trying to turn a corner and be more supportive. And so I did like the conversation that they had. But I also can understand, there's one thing that she said about Joey and his energy. And she just felt like, she was like, I don't know, it just didn't feel real. And the thing is, Joey, I do feel like can come off a little bit like, is this guy for real? Because he's such a golden retriever. And there's a part of me feels like it is a little bit not real. Not in a way that's a nefarious type of thing, but I do feel like there's a part of it that is like a defense mechanism, him being so golden retriever, because then when he gets really serious, like all of a sudden it feels almost jarring. Like, but I do feel like sometimes when he's like on, he gets all like golden retrievery. And I think some of that is really him, but I do think she is sensing that also a like defense mechanism for him, and a facade for him too, but not in a bad way. I have the way that I act when I'm on, you know what I mean? And that's not me trying to like hide anything. It's just like that's just what people do. But it also made me think that also maybe she's been hurt before. And so she just seems very untrusting. And made me think when she said that about his energy and stuff, that I was like, I can kind of see that, where I might think if I met Joey in person, I might have that same thought where I'm like, is this guy for real? I think Joey was definitely being honest in the beginning about his flaws. I just mean more about his like golden retriever. He's so intense and I've met people like that. And I do think sometimes my thought is like, are they real? Like, is this real? Yeah. Like probably hurt because her boyfriend wanted Monica initially. They said it. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that whole thing also probably didn't help their relationship. The fact that that her boyfriend was trying to get with Monica first. Like that probably didn't help. Yes, I think it's masking to protect himself because of the OCD. Yeah, right, Calico? Like, I just sense a thing. I think that's a good word for that. I think there's masking there. Because you can see it fall sometimes, but I still think he's that genuine sweet person. Like, I don't think that part's fake, but his, like, exuberant amount of, like, gotta be, I'm so jovial all the time. I don't think that's fully really him, and when the masking falls a little bit, it feels jarring, doesn't it? Like, have you guys noticed that, where like when all of a sudden he's so serious and it's like, whoa, like, and so I think that's just what she was noticing. But I do think she's a bit of a hater, And I think there's jealousy, and I think that's something that she's got to look into. But I do think this last drop, I think she tried. That's all you can do, and then she's just got to do some work on her own. Oh, I didn't like her comment about getting married first. I didn't like that either. We all want Steven's tea, but respect her silence too. We all want Steven's tea? Wait, which one's Steven? Is there a Steven? Because it's so vulnerable to have a... Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm just reading. I think it was shocked that she was talking about her not being married. Yeah, I agree with that, Chelsea. Oh, Steven is here with us in the comments. Oh, wait, I missed it. I think I missed your tea. I'm sorry. Some of these comments are coming in so fast, and I'm not trying to ignore you guys. But it's hard for me to, like... Oh, well, Steven... Wait, I'm going back because now I'm interested. Sorry. Stay with me, guys. I'm trying to find this tape. You know I'm nosy. Okay, just Steven, rewrite it because... Steven, do you mind rewriting it? Steven! I don't even know what you said, but people are here for the tea. Steven! Oh, Steven said he hooked up with a guy on the show, but won't out the... What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, don't say that, Steven. But you can write me and I won't out. And I won't out anybody. But you can write me. Can you write? I'm really good at keeping secrets, okay? If you want to tell me, you can DM me, okay? It's funny, and I'll tell you this because there's a lot of stuff that I know about Tyler because his baby mama's mom always writes me, but she always tells me not to, she doesn't want it posted, and I won't post it. If people tell me not to post anything, I won't post it. I really just like the tea. Sorry, guys. There's stuff I have to hide because I try to be ethical. And if someone doesn't want to share it, they don't want to share it. But if you want to, write me, Steven, okay? We can talk. I think Dave is just looking for an out, and that's why he's making this Lauren thing a bigger deal. Oh, yeah. My guess is... It's not Ben? Oh, my God. Wait, wouldn't that be crazy? Dave couldn't remember his last time. I didn't believe him. I think he's been sleeping around. But at the same time, if he hasn't been... Jed, ethical smethical. Well, now he knows it's a baby mama. Oh, yeah, but you don't know what she's told me. There's a difference. Oh, no, it isn't Ben, but he's kind of hot. I would have hooked up with him. Oh, thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. Dave was mad she wouldn't hunch, but had a friend. Yeah. I don't think that, I feel like Dave is lying about the amount of sex he's had. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, if he's not, I think that's also why he was so upset too. Because he's like, I can't even get any, and she was getting some a week before, you know? I think it was wrong to be sleeping with someone a week before coming. I disagree, Chelsea, but like, I think it's one of those things where like, to each their own. If that's an issue for you, then I think you just have to end it. Like, it's one of those things like you can't make someone apologize for something like that because that's really none of your business. And if it's something where you feel like that's a deal breaker for you, then that's a deal breaker for you. But shaming her for something that she did that is her right to do. It's her right to sleep with whoever she wants to with a week before, because she came with the intent to get married. Who cares? I not to be flip. I'm not trying to be flippant with you, Chelsea, but I feel like who cares? Like she came with the intent to be married, and like she slept with somebody. She didn't know who she was marrying, so she didn't know. It's not like she slept with somebody after she met Dave. And it's also like, maybe what if you start dating people, and sometimes people date multiple people and they're sleeping, and then they decide to like get serious with one person. Like she can sleep with whoever she wants to. She shouldn't have been shamed, but it does indicate maybe she wasn't ready. I disagree. I don't think that's like, I think she was just doing her. She had a friends with benefits. I don't think having a friends with benefits at all affects your desire, means that you're not ready to get married. I think your needs are getting met. But at the same time, I respect your beliefs. And, like, you don't know you'll meet someone and get to the altar. Exactly, Sally. I agree with that. You don't know you'll meet someone and get to, like, I don't think anyone needs to stop their life. So I do understand why people keep going on dates and all that stuff. Maybe you'll, because I honestly, makes me think, if anything, when people do still go on dates, that they are actually trying to meet people. They do actually want to get married. They are actually ready for a relationship, because they're going to keep like, if it was me, if I was going to go on the pods, I would keep trying to date, because what if I meet someone before that, and then I wouldn't go on the show, because I'm like, I met my person, but like, I'm not going to like, it's not like it's not like Married at First Sight, you know what I mean? Where they supposedly pick people for specifically you. They aren't picking the men or the women to match them. They're not like, looking at their stuff and be like, this person would be good with this person. So it really is like a crapshoot if you're actually going to meet somebody that you would even want to get married to. So I think it makes sense that she was still out there. Also, it was a friends with benefits. She was just getting her needs met, and that's her right to do that. It just is what it is. Like, but I think also, if you're the type of person who has a problem with that, then you probably shouldn't get on Love is Blind, because people are going to have lives more recent because they did not know at all if they were actually going to meet somebody to get married to. So like, you're more likely to bump into somebody that had a recent relationship or had a recent hookup because they weren't sure if this was actually going to work out for them. Yes, KK, I think, but what if she found her person before, then she just wouldn't go on the show? Yeah. I mean, you can, there are so many people who like say they're like, I've heard that have been like contacted by the show, but then last minute, like said they didn't want to do it anymore. Like, you can just not do it. No, but he was just looking for something. Yeah. A lot of them have also said they didn't necessarily believe they would meet someone in the process. And the thing is, I get that, because think of how the dating world is now. It's hard out there. Like, I think it's hard to believe that you're going to go on this show where they pick like whatever. If you're, let's say they're a girl, they pick like 16 men, and out of those 16, you're going to meet your husband. I think it's like something that's hard to believe. I think it's like a great fantasy. And as you can see, a lot of times it does not work out. A lot of them do not meet their match. So I think they think it's something that could be a really good experience. And then some people who do, cool. Let's talk about the underlying issue of misogyny. That's the real issue people have with Lauren. Thank you. What are the odds that you find who you're going to... Exactly, KK. I think they're filming in Miami right now. Do we think that Daniel following Taylor on Instagram before the show? I feel like Dave's perfect match is Brittany from last season, a trophy wife. Oh, I don't know. I feel like Brittany would run circles around Dave. I feel like Brittany would run circles around Dave. My brother had multiple friends picked but backed out last minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, Rebecca said that. My friend had multiple friends that were picked but backed out last minute. So, like, you can do that. Like, maybe it's something, and it might not even because you met someone. Maybe you just decide you don't want to do it anymore. Maybe there's family stuff. Maybe there's work stuff, whatever. Like, exactly. Situations change. When the hookup edited himself into the Love is Blind background, I almost passed out. Yes. It just really gave me, like, he was trying to be famous, you know? Does anyone find it interesting how Dave was going around asking if the other couples have slept? Yeah, it was very weird. And I think it was because he was insecure that they hadn't slept together. Exactly, Katie. Lauren is in trouble because a dude reached out when, like, why is that her fault? It shouldn't be her fault. It shouldn't be her fault. Wait, what time is it, guys? I might have to go. Oh, yeah, it's 7:30, guys. I think it's been an hour and a half. My whole thing was supposed to be only an hour. I think that's part of his issue with Lauren. Oh, thank you for the follow. I think Daniel and Taylor will make it. Yeah, remember, I think that's how he feels. She will put out for other men, but not for her fiance. But at the same time, I think she wasn't for Dave because she actually liked him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do believe there's a difference between like friends with benefits and when you actually like somebody. And I get why when she was with him, she was like, she didn't like that guy, but she felt like she wanted to get her needs met. But then putting out for like somebody that you actually like, that's like not giving you the validation that you need. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why she held off so much with the sex with Dave, because I think she could sense that he was going to hurt her. I don't think she was comfortable with Dave like at all. I agree. Oh, Yang, thank you. When will I go live again? Oh, thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. Okay, so I actually was supposed to go live tomorrow. If you guys are free, I don't mind coming back on, and I'll watch episode 12 tonight, and then we can talk about that. So if everyone's free, I can go live tomorrow night, and then we can talk about episode 12. I can't take everyone saying like every 10 seconds. Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Yay! Okay, so let's do that live tomorrow. Yay! Okay, perfect. Okay, love you guys. Let's do it around 5 or 6 tomorrow. I'll make what's it called? I'll make an appointment thing. Just look at my at my profile, okay? Love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.